a mistake I always see people make when they talk about I'm setting boundaries. I've set boundaries with my husband before, and he doesn't listen. I've told him not to yell at me like that anymore. I told him not to insult me. I told him not to slam doors. I've set a boundary and he won't respect it because that's not setting a boundary. That is telling someone what not to do. And when we're talking about borderline personality disorder, again, impulsivity is really high, right? When they're really, really angry, right? The part that regulates impulsivity is a little offline. So not doing something is really hard. And also people don't like to be told what to do, right? So being like, I'm setting a boundary by telling you not to yell at me. Totally fair. Definitely do that. And if they respond, awesome. But if they don't, that's the next stage of that is a really effective boundary is more about what you will do differently, not them. Not like don't a boundary is not don't yell at me. A boundary is if you yell at me, I'm going to end the conversation. If you throw things at me, I'm going to leave the house because I am really scared of getting hurt. If you do a bunch of drugs and start, like throwing things or getting violent or screaming at me, I'm going to take the kids and we're going to go to the neighbors because I really want to protect them. Right? Of course, you could say, don't throw things at me. Right? That's totally fair to say. But remember that what is going to be much more effective is, hey, this behavior, if this happens, I'm going to do this. Not if you get angry again, I'm going to leave, right? Like how is someone going to never be angry again? That's impossible. That's a natural feeling. But this is what I'm going to do to stay safe, to make sure that that nothing worse is going to happen. Don't turn this into a threat. Don't turn to this an ultimatum. If you do this again, I'll never speak to you again. First of all, that is threatening, right? You're just using, it's like trying to scare them into doing something, changing their behavior, and a lot of time threats don't follow through on, right? So like if you throw things one more time, I'm gonna never speak to you again. Well, the one time they throw something and then you don't follow through, it's not going to work. It's going to seem like you just are making empty threats, which is not the point. What you're trying to do is this dangerous behavior is harmful, and I'm thinking about it, the more you can make it about behavior and interaction, like we do this. If we start screaming at each other, if we start to get violent, I'm going to walk away, right? That takes it even more out of the personal, like you are bad, but I don't know, in a lot of situations, it's them doing something. So the more you could be like, when this behavior happens, I'm going to do XYZ to stay safe and to make sure nothing worse happens. Okay. So those four steps are a great starting point for how to respond. One, slow the interaction. Two, validate the emotions. Three, offer two choices or three choices for how to move on. And four, setting a boundary around dangerous behavior. Now, when you actually talk about it, when you maybe are calmer or in a repair mode, or if the fight is still happening, but you are working through it in a safe way, then some principles that you could use is from mentalization-based therapy. You can kind of break down like what happened, right? And you could ask mentalizing questions, asking them to tell you how they interpreted the situation, what they thought that you were thinking or feeling, and you can talk through that.